Howdy. Your boy's back in the house with another story that I thought would be worth another video like this. So, I actually thought of this topic because I played Super Mario Sunshine in the summer. I like to play this game because, well, of course I've been playing it since I was small, but also when it's summertime and I can't take a vacation because whether it's the coronavirus or because, like, we just don't have enough money. Sometimes I just make up for it by just going back to this game where it's all like sunny and it's supposed to be fun and a vacation and whatnot. So, of course, it's a Mario game. I love Mario. I've been playing it for a long time, or playing Mario games for a long time. And it just reminds me, just hearing Charles Martinet's voice, you know, as Mario, it actually brings me back to one of the first times I visited Nintendo New York. It wasn't the very first time, but Nintendo New York, or Nintendo World as it was called back then, I think. It was just me, my brother, my aunt, and a family friend of ours. We were just walking around New York City doing whatever, and of course we had to visit the place because we love the games, and I was a huge fan of Mario. So we go in, we enjoy our time there, and then we leave, and I think we're just sitting outside in the Rockefeller Center. And I think my brother, he usually just looks up stuff online, and he's like, hey, actually, they're having a little event at Nintendo New York where Mario will be on a screen and you can actually talk to him. So since we were still nearby and we haven't left the Rockefeller Plaza yet, we go back in there, and there he was. It was like Mario on a screen. And near the screen, like, I don't know, above or below it, was like a little camera. So he actually talks with you and you can talk with him, and it's like a real one-on-one interaction with Mario, and it sounded just like Mario too. I was thinking to myself, wow, this is Mario. So we were waiting for our turn, and it's just right by the entrance, so you can't miss it. So we were waiting our turn, and then we approach, and I remember I was small, but just a few things that he said. I remember I was wearing an Abercrombie shirt at the time because he pointed it out. He was like, hello, Mr. Abercrombie. That's my Mario impersonation, my best Mario impersonation that I could do. But I remember he said it like that. And at one point we were talking about pizza, and that's because, of course, well, Mario has like the Italian voice and he loves the pizza, and he's like listing all the toppings that he loves to have. And I just remembered he was like, and you gotta get the extra cheese. It's like, and I remember that made me laugh because, of course, again, like, I was small. What else? The reason why we're into Nintendo, me and my brother, it's actually because of my aunt. My aunt was the one who was bringing in the old consoles like the Nintendo 64, and back in the day before I existed, it was the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then she introduced the games to us. She introduced Mario to us. So my brother was going to Mario and was like, hey, Mario, we actually started playing your games because of my aunt. And then he was like, really? You're kidding me. He was like in complete disbelief. I guess usually because gamers just play the games on their own, or they would hear it from their friends. But no, it was actually from our aunt, of all people. And yeah, and I remember later on, it was like some years later, I was just watching a little documentary about I guess Charles Martinet, or it's like a little interview of some sort, and he said that he was he could be in a studio or a room, and he could actually be talking with somebody in Nintendo New York, or maybe somewhere else from where he's at, and then the software that he was using would recognize maybe facial expressions, and he can move Mario around. So it's a more realistic or personalized approach to talking with people as Mario. So when I found that, I was like, wait a minute, so does that mean I actually got to talk to the real Charles Martinet? I mean, there was the camera there so he could see us, and he saw that I was wearing an Abercrombie shirt. So in one of my old videos, like, I was bringing this up to one of my college friends, Tempest Mask, and he told me that he even saw like something very similar, and he even said that he was 99% sure that it was the real Charles Martinet that I was talking to. Looking back at it, I'm like, wow, I thought it was like an actor or like somebody else, but like it was a real one-on-one conversation, and I can see Mario and he could see me because of the camera there. So it had to have been him. And I don't think I've ever had another experience like that with any of my other visits from that point forward in Nintendo New York. But excuse me, it's, you know, I can even, like, I remember when I was bored one time, like, I even looked up meeting Mario in Nintendo New York, and there's like an old video. I can actually post that video here in the little corner on the top right to show you like what it was like back for me when I was talking with Mario in the place. Ever since from that point forward, like, we've been visiting Nintendo New York from time to time. And I think one time my aunt was just in the city by herself, and she visited Nintendo New York, and she brought my brother a gift, and it was actually an orange Splatoon pillow. I wasn't into Splatoon at the time. Like, originally I thought Splatoon was just a kid's game, and I thought I wouldn't be into it. But she bought that for my brother because it was the orange color, and that was the same color as the company my brother worked for. So he brought it up to me. It's like, hey, do you like know anything about this? I'm like, no. So I look up Splatoon, and then that's when I started getting into it for the first time. Originally, I disregarded it, but I started looking it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is Nintendo's equivalent of Call of Duty. And then later on, I found out about the Splatoon Gmod and SFM creators, and the first one I found was LizzieRatcicle's videos, and that's when I started getting into Splatoon. And it was back in the day when it was LizzieRatcicle, Alex Spider, who else? Violet Inkling, Omega the Squidman, Pool, and all like the older ones. I mean, a lot of them are not around anymore, but just had me think, okay, well, this is fun. And I've been watching Clauds' videos since then, because I'm thinking, like, maybe if I didn't watch her stuff, I wouldn't have looked up Splatoon, or probably would have just gave up at some point. But I started like getting more into it, and it started looking interesting, and it looked fun to me. And then 6 months later, I ended up getting the first game myself, and that was actually around the time Splatoon 2 was released in the United States. So I didn't really play the second game until I got a Switch, like sometime after. But I was playing the first game by the time the second game was out, for like the first few days, I think. So but I've been just watching Clauds' videos since, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm enjoying the stuff. I mean, it's fun, and it's, you know, does the voices really good. I mean, it was probably just, I don't know, experimenting around, or was bored one day. And it was just like, I don't know, a lot of YouTubers that started small and ended up getting bigger. And now she's like probably the biggest of the Splatoon Gmodders or Splatoon SFMers, or I don't know, like the whole animation community. That's the better way to put it. So later on, I was like, okay, well, this is fun. At first, I thought like it was just like some random YouTuber that I would just come and go. But then I ended up starting liking her videos a lot more. And I was thinking, it'd be actually fun if I had the opportunity to talk with her and tell her that because of her, I got into Splatoon. But I was thinking, yeah, but she's like the bigger YouTuber, and I'm just a little squirt that doesn't even consider himself part of the Splatoon community. So I was like, okay, the chance is probably never going to happen. But it actually did. I mean, I only got to talk with her for like a brief moment, but again, just like with Charles Martinet, if that was the real Charles Martinet, like, I was grateful to have a moment like that with Mario, and I'm also grateful to have a moment like this with another voice actor who I thought was fun and made some pretty fun stuff. I don't know, it just seemed pretty weird because like Charles Martinet was always like a voice behind Mario. Meanwhile, Splatoon characters, like, they didn't really speak in English. I mean, they had like the subtitles, but they always sounded like or something, kind of like a chipmunk gargling water or something like that. But I don't know. It's like Claude's added like a little voice and like their own kind of characters. I don't know, like a different personality or like a different kind of take on it, which I thought was fun and interesting because it was very similar to SMG4. I don't really watch a lot of SMG4 anymore, but it was similar, and it, you know, it was just like something fun that I thought was pretty cool. I always thought that I would be able to talk with either of them some more. Like, maybe I would go back into Nintendo New York someday, and like maybe there would be another event, or maybe I would go to like a gaming con or something where Mario would be on a screen and you can actually talk with him, or maybe he would be at like a table of some sort and you can ask him questions, because there have been some events like that but I haven't been able to see him on the screen at Nintendo New York ever since I was small, just that one time. And I was never able to reach any of those conventions of some sort. And even like the same thing goes for Clauds. I was thinking to myself, maybe like I could talk with her a lot more, but still, even though I had the opportunity, like I didn't want to invade, like, I don't know, like you wouldn't invade someone's personal space. Like you wouldn't want to do that in a virtual world either. Like I'm no big YouTuber, but I can imagine she probably gets like a lot of, you know, friend requests, or gets a lot of like, you know, questions or something from other people, and like, you know, it gets annoying over time. I mean, I'm just trying to put myself in her shoes, so I imagine I was like, okay, well, I gotta respect her time, gotta respect the virtual space, if that makes any sense, which is why I was never able to bring myself to just talk to her at all again from that point forward. So yeah, I'm hoping maybe someday I'll be able to talk with either of them some more, or maybe someday I'll be able to meet like other people as well, like whether that be Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario himself. I mean, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it'd be amazing if that were the case. I mean, I'm learning Japanese, well, not only for just Nintendo or whatever, I'm just learning it because it's fun. And I know, I don't think Mr. Miyamoto speaks a lot of English, so it's like if we have translators, or I can just speak in Japanese, I don't mind either way. But, I don't know, it's just like fun little things that, you know, even if it's just for a few minutes, it's fun to talk with them about something that you enjoy and something that they've created, and it's just had like some kind of impact on you in some way. So because of Charles Martinet, like he's given like more life into Mario, and I've grown up playing Mario. And then also Clauds is probably the reason why I got into Splatoon in the first place, and that's how I met a lot of my friends like Swaggy Dude and Spencer Man and all the other guys, because who knows, like maybe if I never found their videos, I probably would have never met the guys, and the whole coronavirus pandemic would have been a different story for me. But it turned out the way it did, and I'm just glad it was how it was. I mean, the pandemic was a rocky road for a lot of us. But I'm just grateful that, you know, you get to meet people that have had some impact on you somehow, even if it's just in the littlest bit. And you would think that you would never meet them, but you do somehow. I have no idea how, but I'm just grateful that it happened. But anyway, it's just like a chain of little events that I thought would lead into a good story for a video like this, and that's pretty much all I was getting, all because I was just playing Super Mario Sunshine in the summer, wishing to go on a real vacation. But yeah, it's nice to play this game from time to time. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I stumble a lot in these videos, and I don't have these scripted at all. I'm literally just going off of whatever comes to mind, and just going off of what I'm saying as I go along in the videos. They're never perfect, but if you watch the whole thing, thank you so much. It really means a lot. And if you want to give it a like to you know, show some support, feel free to give it a like. I would really appreciate that. And also, if you want to see more video narratives, or if you want to see more videos that are not narratives, I don't know, just for the lulz, feel free to subscribe to your boy. And until next time, y'all, I am Altus Haas. Take care.